Well, y'all, an elected Colorado town councilman shot a 17-year-old right in the face this week. This was in Mountain View, Colorado. This was after the councilman's girlfriend reported the 17-year-old boy and his friend were, as she called it, trespassing on her property. This is one of those stories where I really want to know your thoughts and opinions, so please listen and tell me what you think in the comments. So the two teen boys were actually looking for a nice spot to take homecoming pictures. And so they stopped at this property in Jefferson County to ask for permission to do the pictures on that property. The boys reportedly told authorities that they parked at the gate on Tuesday afternoon, this past Tuesday, and then they hopped the fence, and then they walked up to knock on the door, but no one answered. So they then returned back to their vehicle, and they were in the process of writing the homeowner a note when a man drove up beside them in the truck. The note was, I guess, to leave their numbers because they wanted to take pictures there. The man then got out of the truck and he fired a round through their car windshield, and that struck the 17-year-old, like I said, right in the face. Deputies then arrived on the scene to find the second juvenile, the 17-year-old juvenile that was hurt, his friend, and he was applying pressure to the injured teen's face, and that was said to be bleeding profusely. The suspect who shot the gun was identified as 38-year-old Brent Metz, and he did remain on the scene, and like I said, he is a councilman. Deputies ended up finding the weapon inside his truck. Deputies reported that the homeowner of the property was Brent's girlfriend, and she had called 911 to report the teens who she said were trespassing, and then she called Brent, her boyfriend. So he decided to take matters into his own hands, and he immediately drove to the property and opened fire on the teen. An affidavit that was filed in the case states that the two teen boys who were looking for the location to take their homecoming pictures were students at Dakota Ridge High School in Littleton. It was said they had just been driving around that day looking for the perfect spot to take their homecoming pictures. They then saw Brent's girlfriend's property with a lake and a dock, and they thought it would be just right, so they decided to stop and ask if they could do their pictures there, if they could come back on the night of homecoming to take the photographs. That's it. That's all they were doing. I would be honored if somebody wanted to do that at my home or on my property. As I said, when they tried to knock on the door, no one answered, so they went back to the car only to be met by Brent. It was said that the friend of the boy who was shot saw Brent pull out his gun and pointed at them, and he ducked. He then heard the gunshot and the shattering of the windshield. Now, this is what's odd about the situation. As soon as the gun was fired, Brent allegedly yelled out, "Oh shit, my gun went off." The boy who was not hurt jumped out of the car and ran to the driver's side where his injured friend was and took off his shirt to apply it and to stop the bleeding. He said that Brent tried to help, but he pushed Brent away. And I can't say I blame him. He then asked Brent why he shot his friend. It's not really clear if Brent's girlfriend was home at the time or if maybe she got like a notification from her security system or whatnot, but she did tell authorities that she saw the boys on her home security system, so she called 911 and then Brent, her boyfriend. It was said when authorities arrived to the scene, Brent refused to admit or even acknowledge that he shot the young boy, and he immediately asked for an attorney. He did tell deputies where they could locate the gun though. The teen boy who was injured was taken to a local hospital with serious injuries, and as of last night on Wednesday, September 11th, he was still in the hospital, but I'm not sure what his condition is now that it's Thursday night. Brent was charged with assault, 2 counts of menacing, illegal discharge of a firearm, and reckless endangerment. So what do y'all think? Was this warranted? Should he have shot the gun? I think these actually sound like two respectful boys who were not up to no good. They were simply writing a note to be called back so they could hopefully get their pictures made there. Now, I understand the extreme dangers and risk of being on someone else's property, especially if they don't know you. I get that. This day and time, people are trigger happy. But I don't think Brent should have fired the gun whatsoever. I seriously doubt these boys were threats to him. He could have at least acknowledged them, that they were there, and asked what was going on. And none of this would have ever happened. I do hope he gets a decent punishment and sentence despite who he is. I seriously hope his title doesn't cause the judge to hold back, because now this teen has to live with this injury and the scars for his whole life. Brent and the boy are actually very, very lucky the boy is still alive. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, and remember to give me a follow for more true crime. You can also visit my website at www.truecrimewithmegan.com.